All right, so our group is assigned the book Crucial Conversations, which is tools for talking when stakes are high. And as all nurses with prior experience, we have thought of many situations in which crucial conversations can go horribly awry in the hospital. So we're going to show you a couple examples of what not to do when you get to your units, and then how you can use tools from this book to make those conversations better and thus meet the mission command principles of the Army.
Patients coming in under the charts. Right here. Oh my, help. What is going on?
I'm sorry.
Is this our patient? Oh my goodness. Hey, what's going on with our patient?
So this is Mrs. Jones, and she came in.
Does she have a pulse?
Yeah, she should.
When did you guys intubate her? What's the
You know
report?
what? I forgot her monitor. I'm so sorry.
You forgot her monitor?
Yeah, I forgot her cardiac monitor.
Oh my gosh, what kind of nurse are you to forget her monitor?
So her mom came in.
Her mom?
Yeah, her mom came in.
Listen, I need you to tell me what's going on with the patient. You are an incompetent nurse. I don't understand how you don't understand what's going on with the patient.
So I started, so we intubated her, I would say maybe like 2
When did you
hours
intubate
ago.
her?
About 2 hours ago.
What time?
She is on probe, and I'm not sure if they gave her sucks or not. I don't really know. I know that her.
You don't know when they gave her the sucks?
No, I don't. I'm not sure.
Do you know how much?
No.
Who's your charge nurse? What's the name of your charge nurse?
Joe.
Joe,
Smith.
well, you need to be fired and you need to be kicked out of this hospital because this is the patient that we're trying to save. Goodness.
All right, this is the ER. We do real things.
The
I
ER
have people
what
dying
is this
on my
sucker?
table.
You have a sucker in here and you have a patient who's not breathing.
Yes, she is. It's a ventilator. She's breathing. She has a pulse. She has everything.
She has no pulse. She has no
doesn't?
pulse. Where's your charge nurse? Go get your charge nurse now.
Sorry, she's your problem.
What?
So that's not what's supposed to happen. But the reality is that is what may happen. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to recover from a situation like that from some tools we picked up from Crucial Conversations.
What just happened?
I did.
Man, there's probably a way better way that could have gone down. I mean, probably on both ends.
Yeah, sure. I'll go grab him and talk about it.
All right, I'll go talk to Rick and Bob.
Talk to you for
What
a
do you
minute.
need?
Come over here, I'm gonna talk to you for a
Who
minute.
are you? Are you the charge nurse?
Alright, once you become angry, it's not always easy to calm down. You told yourself an ugly story, your body has responded by preparing for a fight, now you're trying your best not to duke it out. Only your body hasn't caught up with your brain. So what do? After all, Mom said never go to bed angry. It's perfectly okay to suggest that you need some time alone and that you'd like to pick up your discussion later on. Then after you've dissipated the adrenaline and had some time to think about the issues, hold the conversation. Coming to mutual agreement to take a time out is not the same thing as going in silence. In fact, it's a very healthy example of dialogue.
Okay. That makes me feel a lot better. Maybe I could have handled that situation a little bit better.
Yes, Joe.
Yeah, Joe Josephine, Joe Smith, charge nurse. I just got a call from the ICU that you got into an altercation with a nurse up there. What happened?
So I had one rough day. Mrs. Jones, her family, they came in, and at the worst time, as we're trying to intubate her and trying to stabilize her, she pulls me out of the room and is freaking out because she doesn't know what's going on. So, and then I have 4 other patients. They're all very unstable, and I just didn't know what to do.
It sounds like you had a hard time. I'm guessing, knowing the ICU, they were probably a little blunt,
that nurse,
forward with you up there.
He was very inappropriate.
Okay, but were you inappropriate back? Because that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you might have yelled at him, that you were doing real things in the ER.
Yes, that's true.
All right, so it might, I don't doubt that it wasn't you that started it, but if somebody's getting angry with you, there's a better way to respond to that. Usually it all just fixes itself. You just take a step back and listen. There's different ways that we can use listening skills. You can ask them for their perspective. You can mirror their emotions. You can paraphrase. That's a really good one. What I hear you saying is, so you're not acknowledging that they're right, but you're acknowledging what they're feeling. But really, the biggest thing is to agree when you agree. So there were probably things about that patient you could have agreed on. You already acknowledged that your care of her maybe wasn't the very best it could have been because there's a lot going on. So you could have acknowledged that. But build when they leave out key pieces. They're saying stuff that maybe isn't 100% true. You could say additionally instead of just saying you're wrong. And then compare when you differ. Things are different. There's just better ways. I mean, I know that you can't control how people talk to you, but you can control how you talk back to them.
Okay. All right. I'll
Yeah.
try. Yes. I'll try that next time.
Yeah, so I think, you know, if you use these tools, it's a really good book, Crucial Conversations. All right, so if you get a chance, you know, I think next week's gonna be a real slow day. Promise
okay,
you.
so I can
Promise
read
you.
a lot of it at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on nights next week, and we're overstaffed, lots of nurses, so you should have time to read this.
Okay.
This will help you guys, you know, maybe build some. We need to work on building that mutual trust between the ER and the ICU. I think if we start by talking to each other better, it'll help.
So we've gone over 2 principles of the mission command, which is shared understanding and mutual trust. And to build that mutual trust, you first have to begin with a great foundation of a shared understanding. In the second scenario, we're going to show you what not to do, but how to build that shared understanding to build mutual trust.
Hey, I need a Foley in him. Please.
Need a Foley in him. Right here.
Can you do it, please? It's within your scope of practice. I'm a little busy right now.
You're busy. I'm busy. I came in, I had things I have to do as well. I can't just stop what I'm doing in my day just to, you need a Foley? Like I said, ma'am, it's right here for you.
Okay, well, I'm busy
Okay.
and I need you to do that for me, so you can go ahead and do that. Thank you.
I'm gonna take care of you. You'll be fine.
Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah, please come in. Have a seat.
So I asked my LPN to put a Foley in for me.
Which one?
Master Sergeant Leeback.
Oh, leave
And she
back.
gave me a really hard time about that. So I ended up just walking away because I didn't know what to say. And I was getting pretty mad. But she was refusing, so I doubt it's even being done right now.
You know, Master Sergeant Levac has been on the floor for 30 years now, and there's been a lot of problem going on with her. So a lot of times it's not the best way to, you know, have a good dialogue. You need to have, especially someone like her, you need to have like a purpose. Like the purpose is the patient. You know, you have to, you need to have a mutual respect. You have to seek mutual purpose, and you have to recognize the purpose. You have to invent it, and also brainstorming.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what really happened?
Well, I told her that I was busy, and I asked her to put the Foley in at first. I even said please, and then she gave me a hard time. So then I started getting frustrated, and then I just said do it and walked away. So I could have gone about that.
Absolutely. So if you're gonna have a dialogue with somebody, try not to argue. Do not debate with them. Do not run away, because it's ineffective. So
Yes,
the best
sir.
way is to engage. It's 2 people talking. Even though if she disagree or with you or you disagree with her, you need to have open dialogue. And through that, you know, it's gonna be easier for everyone to understand each other.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're right, sir.
Alrighty.
Oh, I thought you were gonna hit this. What? What? Are you okay? You guys.
Alright, I have people dying on my tables.
What?
They're bleeding out.
You
I
have a
had-
sucker in your
I had
hand
a
and you don't know
mass cow
what's
come
going
through
on.
the
A
door.
mass cow?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
had a mass
And-
cow.
and
What
you
is
know
going
what?
on with the patient?
She is vented and
She's
she's
vented?
alive.
What?
Yes.
What's the vent setting?
I don't know, but she can breathe and she's
She
alive.
can't breathe.
Yes.
Obviously,
See,
she's
she has
on
a
the
pulse.
ventilator.
She has a pulse, I think. No, she doesn't.
She doesn't have a pulse?
All right, so can somebody step in? Because I
What is going on?
Why?
What?
You know.